Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Kendra Was Left Unattended with Power Tools. So, I have a little bit of a storage problem. I have a lot of books. My husband would happily tell you that I have too many books, which is a complete lie because there is no such thing as too many books. And I don't have a lot of floor space for as many bookshelves as I would need to store all of my books. However, I have been getting into the art of macrame. And by getting into, I mean I've made exactly one thing, which is enough to make me an expert. Because I'm a person on the internet and that's all it takes. And so I thought, why not make my own book storage space? The tools I'm using are pretty simple. I have some nice thick wooden dowels, screws, some rope, and some beads. That's what we're doing. Really should have finished my morning coffee before I started this, but you know, we're living life a little on the wild side. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm basically just putting the dowels up on the wall with the screws. I had hooks, but I've lost them and I don't know where they are. So this is what we're going with. I think I'll do screws above and below just to keep this from rolling all over the place. But basically we're just gonna pop a couple of these up on the wall, probably one on either side of me, and it'll be good. Some issues that I have to contend with. This part of the wall, you can't really tell because I haven't put you that far over, but this wall curves. So I'm going to have to try to avoid the curvature of the wall when determining where this can hang, because otherwise this is going to be a little unbalanced. The wall is pretty straight and flat on this side, but I want one on either side because this will be over my bed. So the first thing that we're going to do is pretty much just mark out where these will be living. Make sure that they're level and then start putting some screws in. I'm gonna put quite a few screws all on the bottom just to support the weight. I don't know how many books I'll be able to actually fit on here, but the last thing I want is for this whole thing to just collapse in the middle of the night since this will be over my bed. So, cut to the time lapse. Okay, so are we even? No. Do I care? Also no. This is what happens when I'm trusted with power tools. Also why I should never be trusted to build anything substantially large. Anyways, the general idea now is to basically do a semi macrame sort of thing. I'm gonna bring it out to about 46 inches. I need at least 2 of those to start with. And then I'm also going to need one brown one that's about the same length. So that's 3 strings at 46 inches each. I'm just going to hold on to that brown one for the moment. And basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to fold my white one in half, feed it up from behind. Do the same thing with my second white one. Feed it up from behind. And we're just gonna make our simple little cattle knots. I'm not gonna tighten it just yet though. So this is where I'm gonna take my brown and I'm going to feed it through the inner half of both of these. So the 2 inside white strings. And kind of try to even it out. But we can just tighten both of these knots up. Push them together. And if it's not perfectly even at the bottom, that's okay. So now we basically have 2 groupings of 3. I'm just going to put that one off to the side and I'm just going to focus on this. I grab a large wooden bead and put all of my ends together. And then I'm going to do a simple square knot with my brown yarn as the filler. And then I know that this is not load bearing yet, but just for proof of concept, I opened the book. It doesn't really matter exactly where to. This brown yarn will go inside of the book, and the white yarn will sit on the outside. Just like that. Because this process is really annoying with this pressed up against the wall. I'm going to just kind of get a string that I can hang this wood dowel from, so that I can just repeat this process a bunch of times. And then once this is sort of loaded up with my string, I will actually put it back up how I want it to sit. But this is a really simple, elegant book presentation. We're going to get this set up so it's easier to do the whole process, and then we're just going to do it a bunch of times, and then we'll come back. So we are only halfway done because I still have a whole second one to do over here to the side, but it looks so good. Obviously I live for chaos, so they're not perfectly even. That is something that is completely fixable over time if I so choose to. Whether or not I will choose to is questionable, because I can literally just undo the square knot and sort of adjust where everything sits. But it looks so good. It's holding up really well. I'm not seeing any signs of stress anywhere. This dowel is fully capable of holding at least 16 books. Seems like no problem. I am, of course, leaving an empty space because some of my John Green books are not immediately accessible at the moment, but they will be. And once they are, they will go here. So we are not finished, but I will be completing the final one off camera just to get it done. And then we'll do the final reveal, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about this. This project is going really fast, which is amazing. So, yay. I was really worried. I've been putting this project off for a while because I was really worried about it, but it's going so smoothly, which is amazing. So yeah, I'm going to basically do all of this for a second time, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. And until then, here are the final results. So this went beautifully. Better than I could have anticipated. What I still might do, just to pretty up, I might trim the brown cords just because they are quite a bit longer, and then fray the bottoms of all of these. I'm not doing anything yet. I want to just sort of sit with this for a little bit, see if there's any adjusting that I need to do. I still have some more books to fill in some of the spaces. It looks so good though. It doesn't look like it's gonna do any damage to the books, which is amazing. What I love is that I can use hardcover and softcover. It doesn't make a difference. It all hangs beautifully. I am sticking primarily to somewhat thicker books, like 300 plus pages. I'm not really doing anything that's like a smaller novella or chapbook or anything. And that's largely just because the thread that I used was really large. It's not thread. Whatever, you understand what I'm saying. Right over the bed, so it's always threatening to kill us, which is very fun. So the beads are really more decorative than functional. Really what's holding the book up is the square nuts themselves, and then the bead is just holding it a little bit higher. If the bead were to completely fall off, the nuts would still hold the book in place. I think what the bead really helps with, one, it looks really clean and cool, but also it provides a little bit of distribution of pressure with the weight. If I were to do this project again, I wanted to do this fairly quickly so that I couldn't talk myself out of it and put this off forever, because I've already put this off forever. This has been on my list for literal years. One, I think I would paint all of the pieces. I'm not big on the natural wood color. I would probably paint them all black or purple to match the wall, or maybe gray to match, I have a different wall that's gray, or even like a darker wood color. As it is, the dowels and the beads don't match. I think it's fine. I'm okay with it. I'll live with it. That might be something that I revisit later on down the road. It seems sturdy. It seems to be holding up really well. I don't have any spot that seems to be threatening to give out on me, and this has been up for a few hours now. So fingers crossed that it will stay for a long, long time. I'm amazed because truly nothing has gone wrong with this project. So exactly how long this project took is hard to say because I took a lot of breaks. However, this was accomplished in a single day. If I absolutely had to guess, I would put it in the ballpark of under 3 hours. Something else that I think could be done if you wanted a little bit more of a decorative look, you could definitely do a little bit more macrame that hangs sort of behind the books and even under. There is a lot of open space within these shelf-ish things. So I think you could also stagger books a little bit. So have this sort of initial row and then come back in with longer threads and then have another row of books underneath. I'm not going to push my luck as far as the weight because this is literally 3 screws holding up 16-ish books. I'm really excited. I saw a shelf similar to this for sale for like $400 and I am like, there ain't no way I'm doing that. So yeah, thanks for joining me on this, I guess, one day make, and I will see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up and also comment down in the comment section below what you thought of this project, what you would like to see me make in the future, what you would like me to talk about in the future. If you want to know how this turns out in the coming weeks. Does it completely fall apart? I doubt it will, but you never know with me. And tune in next Wednesday for another Whatever Wednesday. And until then, I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Yeah.